So, Dev here. I guess this video, I'll be modifying this Homelite motor that is on Project Mini-Me. So this is the new motor. If you haven't seen the videos, this is a ST55 motor on here. I had that SX135 on this before, and that SX135 was worth a bit. It did have stuff done to it. But this one, I just slapped it on. I didn't really do any mods to it or anything like that. So I'm gonna do some mods to this and I'll go through it. So I'm gonna start tearing this thing down and stuff like that. So let's do that. So here we go. Let's start tearing this thing down. Motor is off, carburetor stays on fuel lines. I kind of don't care, but I was trying to pull the head off of the actual engine, but how the motor's mounted, as you can see right here and here, they kind of sit in that cradle, and I have to pop this thing off. And yeah, you can see this thing is actually crank stuffed already, but so I need to do the rest of the mods and exhaust. But yeah, I need to take this freaking cover off to actually get the head off and stuff, so I'm gonna do that. Alright, so this is all apart. I wasn't gonna show you all the boring stuff because this is just gonna be me trying to pull this thing apart and just cursing the entire time. So I got what I wanted, which was a cylinder head. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean it up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna widen out these transfer ports. I'm gonna try to match the ports over on this side. Clean stuff up. I'm going to try to widen this exhaust port out a little bit more. There was no real scoring. Well, it doesn't look as bad as the previous motor. Seems to be wearing normally. So I'm doing this because I've done a lot of reading on these motors, and yeah, people do modify these Homelite 25cc motors, like these SX125 Bandits and stuff like that, but no one's ever really chronicled the modifications done to these. I guess they're crap. Let me continue working on this thing, and I'll show you guys what I will be doing with this thing. So, I find this interesting. I was cleaning up the gasket on this bottom end, and you can see this ridge, which is quite interesting. I've never seen that before, and I feel like that can be helpful because I can't RTV stuff for crap, and it ends up getting messed up every single time. That's why I hate working on my car and doing oil pans. I got the, I guess it's the squish clearance of this cylinder head, and the way I found out online how you do is you take a piece of solder or whatever, you jam it in there, like on the cylinder wall, and you spin the crank, and when it goes up and down, when it goes up top, it will give you this, it'll go up there and it will kind of squish the solder, and this is what I got. So right here, if it decides to focus, that's how much clearance it has. So let's see what we can do with that. So I figured I'd just take this whole thing apart because I gotta be in this thing. Like, I'm gonna be working on those transfer ports. Transfer ports. But yeah, so I just removed the entire crank out of the lower cylinder or engine block, whatever you want to call that. And yeah, I have the crank right here. Of course, it's a half crank, but yeah, let's continue on with what we're doing. So yeah, I will be opening up these ports a bit so it could get better airflow, and I'm gonna port match over here with the whole engine and crank taken apart. I'm not removing the bearings because I know it's gonna be a pain. played around a little bit with the ports, so you can see left side is the one that's actually ported. There's some work done, and the left side is left stock. Well, I'm going to port the right side too, so I am going to copy what I did over here on here, and yeah. So I opened up the other transfer port, so you can see it's way bigger. Now I guess I gotta work on the actual block, so let me try that. So if you put the cylinder head on the block, you can actually see right there. So I'm going to try to open it up on both sides, right where that is at. So if you can actually see in there, right where I'm pointing at, you can see in there, the ports match the transfer ports on the actual cylinder head to the block. And that's what you want for, I believe that's what you want for good airflow. And a lot of people talk about port matching. I believe that's it. Yeah, I gotta do that on the other side over here because I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I gotta clean this out since there is aluminum shavings everywhere inside this crankcase. So as you can see down in there, I did open up the exhaust ports if it wants to focus. Yeah, but I did open up the exhaust ports a bit. I kind of touched the top, which isn't good because that could change port timing and stuff like that, but we'll see what happened. But yeah, I didn't take that center bar out, but you can see it's like pretty open now. Yeah, I didn't take that center bar out because everyone says that's there so the piston ring doesn't snag. So I just as you can see, it just thinned out a little bit. Hopefully that does the trick though. So since I opened up this exhaust port, it's only right if I open up the actual exhaust, the port on the exhaust can. So that is what I did here, as you can see. I slipped a couple times, but yeah, it's open up and should be good. You're probably wondering what this is for. You'll see. So I'm pretty sure this rig is not OSHA approved, but can you see the mark? Yeah, there is a mark right there. It's probably like a millimeter or so, but I'm going to take that out, take some of the squish band out of the top of the cylinder, and see if that actually works. And let's see if I can not butcher this steel. So yeah, let's give it a spin up. Let's see. Working sort of. So I'm going to try to continue with this. So yeah, I spun it for a bit on the lathe, but yeah, I came back from that mark a little bit, as you can see here. I think I went halfway, but I think you can actually see, dang it, if this camera will focus, it did come down a little bit. And I'm guessing those are the marks that it made when I came down, but I'm hoping that is good. Hold on one second. I'm going to find that piece of solder that I used. Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna try to put this thing back together and see if that piston slaps into the top of this cylinder head. Motor's pretty much back together. It's just I gotta toss it on the bike over there. But check this out. If I can actually, yeah, it has a substantial amount of compression, more than before, and that is awesome. That is a good sign. So it's fully back together. I'm not going to show you guys how I reassembled it because you guys saw me take it apart. It's just the opposite. So, alright, as you can see over here, I got the Horror Fright compression tester out again. And you know what that means? We are testing compression. So let's do that. Alright, it's hooked up. Let's try to crank this thing over. So, as you can see, the gauge is at 0 right now, and if I remember the last time we did compression test on this stock motor, it was about 60 psi. So, around 60? So let's see how many psi this thing will kick over. Ah, crap, the release. Oh yeah, 70 about. Let's see if it'll go a little bit more. Okay, that's all it's got. So all that work for just an extra 10 psi. Well, that's just compression. As you saw, it did rework more than just the compression ratio. It was the transfer ports, exhaust port, increased flow throughout the whole engine. So let's actually fire this thing up and see what it does. So I can show you guys it has compression all day long, but the real test is to see if it actually fires. So this is what I have outside. So let's give that a try. Okay, something's there. Getting somewhere. So she does fire without some gas. I gotta play with air fuels a slight bit since it is cold out. So yeah, do that and take for a test ride.